marvellous day in every respect. The sun is shining. The Scots hero, Alex Marshall, here bidding for the world title. No Scot has ever won it. Alex Marshall here aiming to be the first to do so.
Yes, Alex has indicated that after this championship he may retire from the very top level of outdoor play, but it's going to be very difficult to stop him if he wins this, to defend it in Christchurch, I would have thought, in 2008.
This is GLASSON delivering his last bowl of the first trial end. There's quite a contrast in bowls today, which is going to help the spectators. The green bowl for Australia and the reddish bowl for Scotland. And of course that almost contradicts the clothes that they're wearing. It's the red top for GLASSON and Australia and the blue top for Scotland. He's talking about winning and losing matches. Both these players have played 10 matches on their way to this final. Steve GLASSON has lost only one of them, and in that one, against Thawthau Turangabethi from Fiji, he was 20 shots to 9 up and lost it 21-20. That's the only game he's lost on his way to this final, whereas Alex Marshall has come through every game with a win. He's yet to taste defeat in the singles, and only 3 of his 10 opponents have managed double figures. That's quite an awesome record, Corky.
Yes, that's a bit frightening when you look at it as a statistic. But of course, Alex Marshall's generally been known in the last few years as the best all-round player in the world, indoors and outdoors. Steve GLASSON, without doubt, also one of the best players, and his performances have shown that in the outdoor surfaces.
And also, Corky, indoors in Australia, where he's won the Australian indoor singles title 6 times.
Yes, but it hasn't managed to transfer that across
That's
into
right.
the professional UK tour. Every time he comes over, we expect a lot from Steve, but unfortunately it just doesn't appear to be the case. It's a strange situation, really. But Alex Marshall will be taking no chances, and it'll be very interesting. Alex looking very relaxed. Just 40 minutes ago, he was sitting outside, just having a quiet sip of water with Willie Wood and chatting casually. And bearing in mind that it's on home soil, the pressure and the expectation of the home crowd to win this title.
Well, yes, that's right, Corky. Alex Marshall may be the firm favourite to win this title, but when you assess the odds, we're looking at GLASSON, who has almost had a little bird on his shoulder during the week, helping him through. He's won 21-19, 21-20. He's come back from 19-12 down, 20-14 down. On one occasion he came back from 20-11 down. And he's managed to find a way to win. And you can't quantify that. And also, as you pointed out, Corky, the great expectation from this large crowd here, 95% of them will be rooting for Alex and hoping that he's going to win. And there is a pressure involved in that.
There's a definite pressure involved, but we have to bear in mind that Steve was playing against good players. Certainly some would be world class, but none of them would be of the calibre of Alex Marshall, and that's where the difference will be.
So just listen to this. The crowd is starting to get a bit rowdy at this stage. They're baying for action. And yes, it is a bowls match we're here to watch. It's the final of the World Outdoor Singles Championship. And even before the first bowl has been played, it's applause all round. Everyone expecting a great match.
Yes, this has the potential to be quite a noisy game, depending on the crowds. I remember many years ago playing against Willie Wood in the World Singles in an arena very similar like this up in Aberdeen, and it's quite intimidating when you have over 2,000 Scots cheering for your opposition. And I certainly felt it, but it was a great game. Went down to the last bowl in the 21-20.
And it can of course make you play even better.
Yes, it can stir people up, and Steve Glasson's a very laid-back sort of character. He will enjoy this match.
Certainly a sense of occasion here at Ayr Northfield. Everything right for a great game. So this is the first bowl of the final from Alex Marshall. A reasonable length as an opener. Steve Glasson. Interesting that Tatty, which is the name that Alex goes by, chose to play on the backhand, whereas Steve Glasson has chosen to play on the forehand.
Yes, of course, it depends on whether they've played on this rink before, but I would always have a tendency to follow the home player on the first delivery. Having said that, Alex Marshall's now changed on to the forehand, which has dropped one a half a metre short. And there'll be a certain amount of etiquette with the crowd. I'm sure they will appreciate Steve Glasson's good bowls, but their hearts and their passions will be with Alex Marshall.
And why not?
No
Quite
doubt.
Understandable.
Oh, totally.
Look at this. Has he got the shot? Is he running? Well, not quite.
3 balls short of jack level.
The marker there, using the new phraseology, he says so many bowls short of jack level. New laws of the game have just been published, and they've scrapped the old term jack high and introduced a new term, jack level. It's caused a certain amount of amusement around the world. I'm sure we're not going to get rid of the old jack high term quite so easily.
I think we'll probably still use jack high, to be absolutely honest with you, DRJ, but it's only a matter of time before players get used to the new term. Like all things that change, it takes a little bit of time.
Glasson then, his third bowl of the end. He can push his own in or just beat it on the draw. He's not short, I'll tell you.
Always a chance with this. Just held off, and that ball took a very straight path on the way down.
Yes, he did everything right there. Made contact with the bowl that he wanted to push in. Such a fine contact. Left it where it was.
I would expect to see Alex Marshall move onto the backhand with this delivery. Unless he's feeling very confident to draw around the forehand. It's his own balls on the back. There's no reason why he shouldn't play the safe option. Something about the first end, trying to get the first count if you can. On the backhand. This ball will start to bend and drift in now. On the bias, good weight required. Oh, that will do. That's in. That's at least 2.
Yes, here it comes again, that bowl of Alex Marshall. The backhand coming in with the bias. Judged perfectly for weight. 2 to Marshall with 1 bowl to come. Can't put those on the card yet. Here's Steve Glasson. Forehand for him. Looking to push that green bowl in. That's what he tried with his third. Just held off a shade.
Be relying on good weight here to let the ball come back in again. He doesn't want to hold off. He needs a connection on it. Solid will do. Oh, that's well played, Steve Glasson. It's going to be very close for shot. It was a very deliberate shot.
He corrected that very well, in fact. He dropped a yard off it. And in came the bowl.
1 to Marshall.
But it didn't actually travel quite far enough. Cut the count to 1. Marshall wins the end, takes a single, and promptly gives the mat and jack to his opponent. We've seen a lot of that in these championships. And last year, he couldn't have done that. That's another one of the new laws of the game. The winner, traditionally, of an end, had to deliver the jack on the next end and take the first bowl. But now you can forego that pleasure and give it to your opponent. And of course, in doing so, you get the last bowl of the end. Often an advantage.
That's a very good start from Glasson. He's going to have to do this. He must force Marshall into playing weight early in the match if he's going to shake him off.
Of course, that's the risk. That's the gamble when you give the mat and jack away. Your opponent is going to put the jack in a place which he prefers.
Well, Alex is going to drop short with this one, and that's going to give an open door opportunity. I'd expect Steve to add another here. He's a big man and a beautiful smooth delivery, Glasson. Typical Australian clinical style, but it's always the same. It's very consistent. This needs to hurry. Oh, it's dropped. Well short. Now that's a surprise. Alex stalking this ball. 10-15 meters up. He knows it's closer, and it is.
Just a little touch on the jack for that bowl of Alex Marshall, but he left the jack where it was. Quite a long way between mat and jack on this end. It's a full length.
Now Glasson will be better with this. Yes, that ball will run just as it gets on to the fast running surface at the end of the ring. That's two good bowls from Steve Glasson.
And that's pretty accurate play over 40 yards. I'm not sure what it is in meters.
Alex trying to follow. Needs to get past the debris at the start, at the front of the head. All about weight. Has he got the pace? This is going to have to run. He's very close indeed. Doesn't want it to fall away. That's a great recovery from Alex Marshall.
And the expected applause following from the large crowd. Over 2,000 people here at Ayr Northfield for this. He draws the shot and gains the admiration of his fans.
Yes, and he gained the shot as well, which is very, very important. Glasson looking good in this end, line 2 shots. Now being forced to play the forehand, which he hasn't played so far, but he can afford to reach with this ball. Now, has he got the pace? He let it down very gently. Needs to run, needs to clear it.
Oh, he had good weight for the job.
He had perfect weight for the job.
Well, that was a bit of an exploratory bowl from Steve Glasson there on the forehand. We can expect him next time to be even closer. He's got two options. He could either put a little bit more weight on the same line, or give it a little bit more green. First of all, though, Marshall's got to play. What does he do?
I think he'll be careful. He doesn't want to touch his own ball and fall out. It doesn't really matter what he does if he can stay away from it. Glasson doesn't have a ball left, so it's going to be another shot for Alex if he stays away from it.
Yes, I think I was being generous in giving Steve Glasson a fifth bowl, and of course he doesn't have another. He's right out of ammunition.
That was a sensible shot by Alex. He stayed away from it very deliberately. Happy to take a single. He puts him into a 2-0 lead after 2 ends. It's a good start for the world indoor champion from Scotland.
Beautiful day here in Ayr. The facilities here first class as well. The stands and the permanent buildings, which are part of the National Centre for Bowling for Scotland, recently opened by Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal, and temporary buildings as well, of course, for an event like this. And everything is run quite smoothly. The organisers deserve the highest praise for staging a marvellous event.
Yes, they've been working on this event for many, many years, of course, and vastly helped by the contributions from the bowls public in Scotland, and they've made very good use of the money whenever you see this happening. And I must say that Scotland themselves have performed very, very well. Not always easy for a home country to live up to expectation, but they've done more than that. Good correction by Steve Glasson. One of the few very true bowls professionals in the world.
He's a market manager for a well-known bowls manufacturers. A Scottish-based bowls manufacturer, I may add. But of course, he does his work down under.
Well, that narrows it down to one.
Selling British bowls to the Aussies.
And I'm sure he does it very well.
Shot to Marshall. Plenty of room.
Just holding off with the extra weight.
And this end, it seems to be a little lighter, the colour of the grass, which suggests it might be a bit drier, a bit faster. And those bowls of Glasson just running through a yard, he looked to have good weight.
Certainly pretty quick towards the ends. There it is now. That's the fast part. Will it run? Needs to hurry. And that's where it becomes an advantage whenever you hit just that fast run. The ball just travels nicely up to the jack. I think that might be enough for Alex to lie to.
Yes, 2 it is.
Steve Glasson moving to the backhand. Not prepared to take a risk and holding off on the 4. Got to run with this. It's not going to make the trip, so Alex Marshall in with a good chance to add another. Line 2. And he's got at least a half a metre all round the jack to add a 3rd.
Absolutely no danger for Alex. All he's got to do is anywhere within a yard to count for 3 shots to extend his 2-0 lead to 5-0. And Steve Glasson there lifting the Marshall bowl up and handing it to his opponent. That's something in the etiquette of the game from down under. We don't see it done too often over here in the UK. Looks good again.
Oh, this is travelling well. Just needs to hurry.
That's in.
Looks good for 3. And that must go down as a loose end from Steve Glasson.
Yes, Glasson found the line with all 4 of his deliveries, but was through with 2 of them and short with 2. He's just checking in his inimitable style there, without employing a measure. He does it with his fingers, and it's 3 shots, and it is 5-0. Steve Glasson, 35 years of age, married man from Sydney. He and his wife Kelly have 2 children, Ben and Josh.
Yes, Kelly's been over in the UK many times in recent years. It's a long trip. Likes to keep her husband company. Steve's very popular in the UK, very quiet, sort of unassuming character. Very professional in his attitude. Gets on with the game. You're never going to have any hassle or grief with Steve Glasson on the rink. And that's very comfortable for an opponent.
Well, that's a bit of a loose one, almost reaching the ditch.
So I think Steve might be conscious of the fact that he's dropped short a few times the first 3 ends. Making sure he was pushing to that one. That ball will come in useful if he has to attack the head. Alex slotting in another. I'm not sure that's going to count. I don't think so. This forehand, you can push it out wide, but you have to give it an extra little shove. It's got more to travel, and Steve hasn't done that. He's got caught in that little trap.
Really hasn't settled yet, and Marshall is taking advantage. Every time Marshall has won an end, he's given the mat to his opponent. He's had the last bowl of each end. Always handy. What's this?
It's another bowl in the head, and it's a useful one. And I can see Alex teeing this up for a good takeout shot.
Well, it's 2 shots already, according to the marker Ian Munro. Glasson very short with his third bowl. He must reach with this. He's got some bowls to rest on. He's very close to them. He's got it, surely.
Well, even if he hasn't got it, it's a very good ball. It looks like it is a shot, according to our marker in Monroe.
So everything was going well for Marshall until that last bowl from Glasson. He's now stopped in his tracks temporarily. He's 1 down, and he's having a look at this from all angles. There is a plant shot on. If he hits his own red bowl, the green one would probably go out.
And so if he can get onto that ball and just come off it, if at all possible, that's what he'll be looking for. Just trying to drop off that onto there for the shot. It's not going to be easy to get the right angle. He's looking at it on the other side where there's a plant on his own bowl, but it's just whether he can get to it or not. Yes, that's why he's playing the forehand. I think he was blocked on the backhand shot.
Yes, in the end he's going for the conventional shot, the forehand draw. This looks very similar to that last bowl of Steve Glasson. Is it going to reach though?
He was trying to get onto the edge of it.
Needed another couple of feet on that, did Alex Marshall. So for the first time he drops a shot in this World Outdoor Singles Final. Steve Glasson will be relieved to be on the card, and it's his turn to give the mat away. He's saying to Alex Marshall, you put this where you like, I'll have the last bowl. So Marshall chooses a fairly long jack. It's not quite full length, but a good generous 3/4.
It's an interesting tactical battle between both players, giving the jack away each time, trying to outthink each other. This is what bowls is all about. It's very much a tactical game, looking and searching for your opponent's weaknesses. Not too many weaknesses with these two players. Stop on the jack, it's doing just that. Slight touch, little drop in behind. Oh, that little edge was enough. Right in front of the jack. I think he was coming in for shot okay with good weight, but the little edge made a difference.
2 inches.
And I'm pretty sure he'd have finished behind the jack. Whether he'd have stopped in time for shot, I'm not quite sure. the contact took a bit of weight off and did the trick. Oh, now this is the first running bowl we've seen. This is a bit adventurous from Alex Marshall. What has he got?
Well, he just decided that he could click the ball out clean. He was lying 2 shots. It's a reasonable shot to play. Solid touch on the ball. The jack might go dead. It's just telling Steve Glasson, you better get another one in with this.
Six bowls played, 2 to come.
Alex Marshall just looking at this to try and click the ball out if he can. And Alex Marshall will be trying to get to that ball clean if he can. It's going to be very, very tight to get it out, but if he gets the right connection, that goes that way. His own ball that he uses will go out that side, and it'll leave 2 balls line shots. You can play it either side, or he can just draw up to it. It's got a choice. Well, he's still playing attacking to it, not as heavy as he did previously, but that's a hard shot to try and play. Yes, it's gone under. He was trying to push the ball onto the jack, and that's a hard shot, really.
And we could tell he'd missed his line with that, because Steve Glasson immediately started to walk back down the rink. He knew that his shot was safe.
I could see the logic in it, but I thought he might have had another little go.
So a good chance for Steve Glasson to upgrade a single to a double.
Well, he's missed the chance, and against Marshall you can't afford to do that. It's going to be a single.
Applause from some of the crowd here who, from where they were sitting, that looked as if it was in. But it just went a little too far and didn't bend quite enough. So 1 shot. Glasson is on 2, Marshall is on 5, and we've played 5 ends of this World Outdoor Singles Final. The number of ends, of course, is totally academic. It's the first man to score 21 who wins the match, the championship and the title. Alex Marshall was voted the player of the championship in Johannesburg 4 years ago. That's the last time that the World Bowls Championships were held. Won the pairs with George Snedden, and he went into the singles as a hot favourite to win it. And the wheels came off. He just didn't perform.
Well, that can happen in all major championships, of course. Player can just have an off one. It's a wee bit like Jeremy Henry, really, here in the last 2 major championships, Commonwealth Games, silver medalist. Johannesburg World Championships gold medalist, and just didn't happen on this occasion. Doesn't make him any worse a player by any means. He just had a bad one.
Steve Glasson, of course, was the runner-up in Johannesburg to Jeremy Henry. So he's a man who's hoping to go one better this time around.
Well, both players just falling a little bit short on this occasion, but advantage Scotland, although I would expect it to be beaten with this bowl. There it is. It's a very good shot as well, just in front of the jack. Almost certainly going to obscure it. So it's going to be Alex trying to visualize where the jack is in front of the ball. Trying very hard, just needs to hurry though. Oh, it's a great effort. Just dropped a little bit. But that backhand looks like it'll bend all the way around that ball. Steve coming up to have a look. I think he's not happy about where Alex's last ball finished, so he'll move on to the backhand.
This is the 10th time that the World Outdoor Bowls Championships have been played. The first one was way back in 1966. And in all those years, no Australian and no Scot has ever won the singles title. Quite a remarkable statistic, because those two countries, Corky, have to rate among the very, very top countries in the world.
Well, they're certainly in the top 6, there's no doubt about that. It is a very big surprise, I must say. When you're looking at the top countries when it comes to bowls, you add in the UK countries, of course. Usually do very, very well in these championships, and Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. But over the last few, we've had a few other countries coming in to do a bit of damage.
Well, we just looked back to last week, and we had Keith Roney and Ryan Bester from Canada walking off with the pairs title. It was a major coup for the Canadians.
Alex on the forehand, looking to get to his own ball or punch Steve Glasson's ball out of the head. Should have a pretty clear look at this one. All about pace.
This is his last bowl of the end, and he's very, very, very close. He's got it.
Oh, he got the ball, but he didn't have enough weight to push it all the way through. Just rested it onto the jack.
Touched the jack, moved the jack as well. It's still 1 to the Australian.
Yes, it just needed another couple of meters on that to punch it all the way through. So Steve Glasson's going to score at least a single, and for the second in succession he has a chance to add to the one he lies to make a double.
Not an easy chance. He'll do well to make 2.
This backhand seems to be drawing well. Depends how strong a bias his bowler's got on it, but not strong enough from out there, I feel. Well, it's coming back very strong at the end. Very strong indeed.
Well, he played safe. It came back round about jack level, but not quite close enough, and it's the 3rd consecutive single for the Aussie. He's 2 behind now. Alex Marshall of Scotland leads Steve Glasson of Australia 5-3. Alex Marshall, who added the Commonwealth Games pairs to the World pairs that he won 4 years ago. Hit up a marvellous combination with George Snedden. They had a stab at retaining their title, but they slipped up in too many encounters. In fact, Alex was very unhappy with his form last week in the pairs, but there's been nothing wrong with his right arm in this singles this week.
Alex has a tendency to wear opponents down by drawing close to the head with his first 2 deliveries, putting the pressure on, forcing his opponent into playing weight. That upsets the natural rhythm. Steve Glasson very, very controlled as a player. Rarely uses a big heavy drive. Part of his armoury, of course, but doesn't usually need it.
Yes, you talked Corky, about Alex Marshall's drawing skills. He's a very, very consistent drawing player, and that's how he wins his games. But his opponents as well, at the back of their minds, they're a little bit worried about the shots that he can play, particularly that ferocious drive which comes up the middle and scatters the bowls.
That's another shot. Didn't make it in behind the jack, but what's good about it is it's left a gap between bowl and jack. Steve Glasson adjusted too much. It's running. Not enough. Perfect line.
And better weight too. I think he may have cut it to 1. Alex Marshall just going back to check. He's holding 1 for certain. He was just looking to see if he was still 2 shots. Steve Glasson doing exactly that too, as is Ian Munro. Just the 1, under measure, says the match official. And Marshall's been playing by far the better length in this match so far. That's a good one. Not counting, but it's in a good place.
Steve looking at this, but realistically there's no reason why he shouldn't play the same backhand shot. He dropped a little bit short. He could afford to play with a metre or 2 of weight, try and catch one of the Marshall bowls or turn his own bowl onto the jack.
You see, he doesn't have too much to think about here, surely, because he daren't use weight. Let's say he's 1 down at the moment. Well, if he is, then Marshall has the 3rd, the 4th and possibly the 5th bowls. So if he took his only bowl out of the head, Steve Glasson might drop 4 shots.
Oh, there's no point. There's really no point. He should just be drawing to this and try and tap the bowl over. If he loses 1 shot, 6-3 is not a big problem. He's just conscious of the fact that he's won the last 3 ends, albeit with singles.
Well, I'm not sure that he's going to draw this. I think he's going to hit. Well, slightly running bowl perhaps.
Controlled weight. He wants to try and catch the Marshall bowl and stay. It's barely over the drawing weight though. And is he going to get a luck of the rub? I think he may have had the rub of the green with this one. It bounced off the Marshall bowl, came back onto his own bowl.
And that's a perfect trail in the end. It surely made 3 shots. Marshall has left 1 of his bowls in there. Now, what he's claiming for that, we're not sure. He hasn't actually conceded any shots at all yet.
Well,
he's conceded 1.
Conceded 1. That's a measure for the other 2. It was a very good bowl by Steve Glasson, but it was a dual thing. He was never going to take his own bowl out with using that pace. A couple of metres was the right shot. Turn his own bowl, get the jack clean, rest a Marshall bowl. It'll bounce off the back bowl, carrying it yet again.
Yes, that all counts. You can't say he was particularly lucky with it, because he did pick up that jack nice and full and trailed it.
It was a good bowl. He just got the rub of the green towards the final finish.
Went his way. One thing is certain, Marshall stays on 5. Scored the first 5 shots in just 3 ends. Since then, he's been kept in check. Glasson has scored 3 singles so far, and he's got at least 1 shot here. Joyce Miller, the umpire for this World Final. Good player herself.
Looks like 2 to Glasson. That's confirmed. 2 to red.
And that ties things up. After 7 ends, it's 5-5. So those people who thought that Marshall was on for a runaway win when he went 5-0 up have had to think again. They start again now on the 8th end. Neck and neck. Well, it's a poor start for Alex Marshall, but I have to say, on the backhand in this direction, we've seen people drop short on a fairly regular basis. I've been talking to some of the players, and they say that the green is still a bit green in places and a bit yellow in others, a bit damp in places and dry in others, and so it all depends what part of the green the bowl is going down on. It'll pull up on if it's wet, and if it's dry, it'll run on a bit.
Say one thing is definitely drawing, no doubt about it, but Alex Marshall's turned his back on that one. He didn't get it away at all comfortably. That's a long, long way away, and Steve Glasson must take advantage of a rare mistake.
And that, of course, is something you wouldn't see indoors. We have viewers who've been watching this outdoor championship, and they're regular viewers of the World Indoor Championships on the portable rink, and they say, why aren't they getting them closer? Well, it's much more difficult outdoors, wouldn't you agree, Corky?
Oh, it is, there's no doubt about that. The variations of the surface, the wind conditions. It all goes to make things very unpredictable. Indoors, the surface is very consistent, very fast, and it gives the players a level of accuracy which is almost frightening at times.
Well, the crowd don't believe what they're seeing at the moment. Alex Marshall has bowled 3 bowls on this end, and he still hasn't got anything within 2 yards of the jack.
This one's pulling up now. It's not going to make the trip, and that's Steve Glasson was up and after that ball very, very quickly, and I just wondered, did he chase it too early?
Perhaps too quickly. They do say, coaches do say, don't run off the mat. Deliver the ball, and then if you want to, start your trot.
Alex Marshall will put a lot of effort into this bowl. He's on a good line. This will start to swing as the bias takes effect, but it's not going to reach. Steve Glasson already going down to the mat, and this is a wide open opportunity for the Aussie.
And Steve Glasson will be regretting the fact that he dropped his 3rd bowl so short. He should be holding 3 now, with a chance of a full house. As it is, he's holding 2 and a chance of 3. So Steve Glasson about to take the lead in this match for the first time.
Again, he's pushed it out wide. This will start to bend as the power comes off it. It's looking good for another shot. Has it the pace? It may have. Definitely 2. Looks like 3. 3 it is, 3 to red, and Steve Glasson from Australia takes an 8-5 lead after 8 ends.
And this certainly wasn't in the script. The big crowd here supporting Alex Marshall, trying to become the first Scot ever to win the World Outdoor Singles Championship. And didn't he start off well? 5-0 up in 3 ends. But look what's happened since then. 3 singles, a 2 and a treble for Steve Glasson. And it's the Australian leading by 8 shots to 5 after 8.
I see it.
first blood to Marshall. And that last treble will hurt a little bit, if only for the fact that it was a very loose end. Alex won't like that. He's in again.
Yes, 2 shots for Alex Marshall. And the choice for GLASSON is a bit of weight on the forehand or a dead draw on the back. Going for the attacking option. Always an attractive one on UK greens.
Chance of the jack clean. Got it. Now there's a Marshall goal down there. There it is. I think it's still 1 though to the Aussie.
That's twice Steve GLASSON has used the forehand in this direction to pick the jack up. Beautifully done. Threaded the eye of a needle there, came through, picked the jack up and stayed with it. 1 to Australia. This is not going to be an easy match for Alex Marshall.
Oh, we always expected it to be a tight one. Lots of reasons why it was advantage to Marshall playing on home soil. He's attacking this. He needs to get the ball absolutely clean, or the jack. Well, that'll do. And it stayed within the confines of the rink in the ditch. And that's not going to be easy to beat.
Well, that's a very interesting choice of shot for Marshall there. Let's watch it again. He was going for the bowl probably, but the jack will do. The jack goes through to the ditch, so does the bowl. It's a toucher, so it stays alive. And the jack in the ditch is also still alive because it didn't go out beyond the confines. It didn't go over the string. And although both the shots for Marshall are a long way away from the jack, it's a little bit tricky here for GLASSON.
Well, it is, because he'll be thinking to himself, if I go to try and get very close here, I could lose 2 if I drop in the ditch. He has to beat the second shot first and hope to stay on for shot.
The mat is well up as well, which makes it a little tantalising. He's very well played.
Oh, this is good. It looks like the shot.
Yes, that's 1 to GLASSON. That's the 6th end in a row that GLASSON has scored. He leads 9 shots to 5. And at that stage, with this Aussie leading by 4, we'll take a break and we'll join you soon. We will return. Well, Alex Marshall playing the first bowl of the 10th end, and he really has lost his touch. Started off so well.
Well, he'll be getting a little bit concerned about this. So used to putting his first bowl within a foot or so of the jack. Both players a little bit loose, and you get the odd shout now coming through. Come on, Tati. So much encouragement for this man. Struggling. It just isn't happening at the moment. Started off so well in the first few ends.
There's something about the backhand in this direction which is very strange. Well, just 4 bowls have been delivered since you were last with us, and it's Steve Glasson holding 2 shots. They're not particularly impressive shots. They're both at least a yard short of the jack, but Alex Marshall unaccountably has used the backhand in this direction, and he's dropped short. Almost every time he bowls the short on this backhand. This is better. This is the shot. Oh, and there's a certain amount of relief about the applause here from this huge crowd at the Ayr Northfield complex. They wondered what had happened to their hero.
Exactly jack level.
And of course, Marshall has been putting some bowls there, and Glasson's been trailing the jack away from them. That's what's happened.
I think he might be tempted to have a go at this, to be honest with you. Bowls jack level. Here it comes. He's close, but not close enough. Alex will be conscious to try and get another one in if he can.
Well, he's shown his hand anyway, Glasson. We know what he's going to do next time if the position is unchanged.
That's the right shot to play.
I wonder how long it is since Alex lost 6 shots, 6 ends in a row, which is what he's done since going into a 5-0 lead.
Exactly, 6 ends and 9 shots in the trot. I can't remember, I must admit, that situation. Alex, are you reaching? You have to beat at least the front green one. I think that might just be enough. Well, that's good enough for 2, and that's actually a very clever bowl, because there's no way that Steve Glasson can take both those bowls out. He has to go for the clean jack now, and there's no guarantee of scoring, even getting that.
Yes, you wouldn't think he could take the 2 of them out. He can't do so in any orthodox way. He'd have to be very lucky to do that. If he took one of them out, though, he'd be quite pleased.
Yes, I think he'll go to try and take one out or get the jack clean.
Jack would be ideal. Backhand again with weight. He didn't miss by much last time.
More weight this time. Well, now that's changed things a little bit. He's taken his own 2 bowls out of the head.
He's dropped the
taken
full house.
everything away. Well, that's a horrible result for Steve Glasson. He was off target and he's paid the penalty.
Well, we were talking about the possibility of a bit of luck going in Glasson's favour. It's gone horribly against him. He took his only bowls out of the head. He's got nothing on the rink, and it's 4 shots to Alex Marshall. That's the most dramatic strike, and lo and behold, from 9-5, it's suddenly 9-9.
Well, the crowd just getting very excited about that, but it was more to do with the marker at the end of the rink putting the score on the wrong side.
Yes.
Not realising that it was actually 4 to the Scot.
Yes, according to the board, mind, Steve Glasson leads by 13 shots to 5, and the crowd here at Ayr Northfield don't like that.
I'm afraid he's got a little bit lost.
Oh, now then, let's get it right. It's 9-9.
Well, he still hasn't got it right. I think Alex will fix it now. That's it.
A case of do-it-yourself there for the Scot. He scored 4. It wasn't all his doing. He got a bit of help from Steve Glasson, but he wanted all 4. He was going to have them all right. 9-9 after 10.
Well, it upsets the players a little bit, to be honest, whenever that happens, because it stops the flow of the match.
Well, it hasn't upset Steve Glasson one little bit. Look at that. He was handed the jack and he's used it. He's put up a full-length jack. First bowl is on top of it. What a recovery.
I think Alex will not waste any time getting to this. Usually the tactics here is to draw close for your first one if you can. It's not close enough for what he would think about with his next. He'll just have to try and draw again.
Steve Glasson seems determined to play the forehand in this direction. Dropped that one a bit short. Needed another yard. Of course, it's a little bit faster up this end. If that had gone another foot, it would have gone another yard, if you know what I mean.
Yes, another foot or so would have run on to the quick stuff. Would help the ball travel closer to the jack. Alex Marshall just trying to get a good second if he can. Well, it's not bad. Handy there.
Yes, it's running on now. Beautifully played by Glasson there. It counts and it covers. A difficult head here for Marshall. He might have a go at it.
It's a tricky one. His normal reaction to this would be to hit it.
He's hitting it, or trying.
Doesn't want to get his own ball. Jack will do. Well, he's killed the end, and that's a very good result for Alex Marshall. He'll be very happy with that.
Yes, that one's gone all the way off the rink. They'll have to replay the end in the same direction. They could, if they wished, play it back in the opposite direction, but I think Steve Glasson, having built up such a good position, he's got the final say there. He can say, right, we'll have the same again, please.
Yes, especially in the other direction. He just lost a 4.
So they look as if they're off for an afternoon stroll, the two of them. Two burly figures there. Alex Marshall for Scotland and Steve Glasson for Australia. It's just as if that end had never happened. It's a replay. The score remains 9-9 and 10 ends have been played.
Yes, both players arguably at their peak in terms of their bowling career. Both have influenced world bowls for a number of years, but they're at the right age and the right level of experience.
Another good opener from Steve Glasson. Oh, he's got the bit between his teeth now. Just that extraordinary setback on the 10th end when he dropped 4 shots. Left without a bowl on the rink. Steve Glasson plays for the St John's Park Club in Sydney. Lives in Horningsea Park, which is a suburb of Sydney. Tatty Marshall lives in Tranent and plays for the East Lothian Co-op. Used to play for Gorgie Mills in Edinburgh before he moved house, and plays now indoors at East Lothian, whereas previously he played for Bainfield.
Well, this is building up well for Steve Glasson. I just wonder, will Alex be tempted to play a little runner again?
Yes, Glasson showing expert judgment of the way this surface is running at this end of the green. He's been bowling as if to finish a little short, and they've been running on to the jack. Marshall has been bowling as if to the jack, and he's been running through. So, our Marshall on the mat. We'll soon see whether he's going to play that weighted shot again. It worked for him the previous end.
I think he's reaching okay with fairly controlled sort of weight.
Certainly not a drive.
Well, I think that may be third shot. Steve Glasson will be looking to try and draw another shot if he can. Anything around here would be excellent. Doesn't want to go too close to the two front ones.
This is good.
Well, he did exactly the right thing. He didn't get too close to his own front balls to create the target. He's hidden that ball right in behind them. And Taddy Marshall's left with no choice but to drive at this.
And what's more, Corky, that last bowl is a toucher. It's got a chalk mark on it, which means that if it's hit into the ditch with the jack, it'll still count. It's 3 shots at the moment to Steve Glasson, and it's crisis time for Alex Marshall.
Oh, he'll
last
stump
bowl
this.
of the end.
He'll hit this pretty hard. All 3 balls could go out of the head.
He's good at this sort of shot. We'd expect him to hit wood.
Oh, what a good ball and what a brilliant result as well for Alex Marshall.
Well, the last 2 ends, we've seen some very dramatic turnovers, with Steve Glasson giving a 4 away on the 10th, and this time it's Marshall stealing 2 shots when he was 3 down.
That's a big turnaround of 5 shots. Alex was in the area. It was just a matter of getting a very good connection. He got the connection he needed, and he got the perfect result.
And what a big difference. Instead of being 12-9 down, which he would have been if he'd missed, Alex Marshall is now 11-9 up. So a 3/4 length jack, almost full length from Steve Glasson. He's pushed his first bowl a yard short. Marshall still trying the backhand in this direction. I'm wondering whether it's time for him to swap and go to the forehand. And yet again, he's yard short, not just a bit short, 3 or 4 yards. What is it? What is happening out there, Corky?
He's having to go out onto a high line, and he's just getting caught every time. It's not like him. I think if when he looks at this and thinks about it again, he should move on to the forehand. That's Steve Glasson's playing the forehand, and playing it pretty well. Oh, front toucher. I would say Alex has to follow that ball. If he continues to fight with a backhand, it's okay if it's effective. There must be a big correction on weight with this one. He's really pushed it out wide. This ball will start to bend. It's pretty good, to be fair. Oh, that's better. Good correction. Second shot.
Still 1 to Glasson.
Oh, Glasson's in again. Is it going to run? Nearly there. Looks good.
It's there.
Perfect line again. 3 times. A perfect line. 2 balls are effective. sensibly putting in some water. Steve Glasson, very hot out there. Dehydration is a problem. It's a good problem to have in terms of outdoor bowls in the UK.
Yes, the problem usually for us is there's too much water of the wrong sort.
So Alex, can you get a direct line into the shot?
Marshall forcing it.
Yes, he's trying to get a direct line into his own bowl or into the two green ones. He's got the split, I think. Well, that's taken one away. Not the perfect result, but a good one.
Well, he'll settle for halving the count, but the two of them could have gone. A rather unusual result, in fact, because the shot of Steve Glasson there is hidden away now. Watch this. He gets the green bowl onto the other green bowl and it stuns in. That's slightly fortunate for Steve Glasson. Glasson, the man in the hat. For Australia.
Well, it's dropped short, but I wonder, is it dropped in the way it has indeed. I think that's a blocking shot, not played deliberately, but by accident. I think Alex might have to try and draw this.
Well, I think the line he used last time came up right in between the two short green bowls, so it's possible he'll play the same again. He's playing backhand this time.
Yes, I thought he would try and draw it, to be honest, because that ball is just not too clever where it's sitting. Also, if he clicked his own ball out, he would lose 3 shots.
That's right.
Got a chance with this if it runs. Perfect line, not going to make it, so it's going to be 1 to the Aussie. And this game remains very, very tight and very tense.
Yes, I'd be reluctant to pick a winner at this stage. It's 10 shots to Glasson, 11 shots to Marshall. And we've seen some astonishing turnarounds. Alex Marshall rather envious of the Australians who play professionally, particularly in New South Wales and Queensland. He'd quite like to go out to join them. He did for a while. He played for the Warilla Club, as did Willie Wood, the evergreen Willie, who managed to strike gold in the triples last week.
Yes, there's been a number of players playing top-level bowls down there, including David Gurley and David Holt, of course, who now lives in Australia.
Yes, David Holt won a gold medal for England in the Commonwealth Games in Manchester, and promptly emigrated. And his ambition now is to play for Australia.